Her fiancé abandoned her on a stormy highway, then a single dad mechanic stopped. The rain came down like the sky itself was furious, and Claire Bennett stood on the shoulder of a coastal highway in a pink silk suit that was never meant to survive a storm like this, watching the taillights of her fiancé's car disappear into the gray. 20 minutes earlier he had been laughing with her about wedding invitations. Now he was gone, and she was alone beside a smoking, broken-down Mustang, the ocean roaring beside her like it wanted to swallow the whole world. If you believe people can still surprise us, if you believe in second chances and quiet kindness in a world that feels increasingly cold, hit that like button right now, drop a comment telling us where you're watching from, share this video with someone who needs a reminder that good people still exist, and subscribe to Kindness Corner so you never miss a story like this one. Now, let's get back to Claire. She hadn't seen it coming. Nothing about that morning had suggested her life was about to fracture. She and Daniel had been driving up the coast for a long weekend, celebrating 4 months until their wedding, and somewhere along Highway 1 the old Mustang, a gift from her late father, the only thing of his she had left, began sputtering, hissing, and finally died in the rain. Daniel had gotten out, cursed at the engine like it owed him money, and told her this was exactly why he'd wanted her to sell the car months ago. She'd tried to explain, again, what the Mustang meant to her. He hadn't wanted to hear it. He said he had somewhere to be, that he'd send a tow truck, that she'd figure it out. Then he drove off in his own car, leaving her standing in the storm with a dead engine, a dead phone battery, and a growing, sickening realization that the man she was supposed to marry had just proven, in one selfish moment, exactly who he was. She waited. 10 minutes. 20. No tow truck came. Cars flew past without slowing, their headlights streaking through the downpour, none of them stopping for a stranded woman on a dangerous curve above crashing waves. Claire had never in her life felt so small. She had grown up believing that hard work and good intentions were rewarded, that if she was patient and reasonable, things worked out. She was a marketing director, a woman who solved problems for a living, and yet here she stood, utterly powerless against rain, metal, and a man's retreating taillights. She thought about calling someone, but her phone was dead, and there wasn't another soul in sight. The waves crashed below the guardrail with a violence that made her step back instinctively, gripping the fender of her father's car like it might keep her steady. That was when the headlights appeared behind her, not fast and indifferent like the others, but slowing, then stopping. An old green pickup truck, dented and honest-looking, pulled onto the shoulder ahead of the Mustang, hazard lights blinking through the rain. A man climbed out, broad-shouldered, wearing a canvas work jacket already soaked through, a tool belt slung low on his hips. He didn't rush toward her the way a stranger with bad intentions might. He walked with an easy, unhurried steadiness, raised a hand in a small wave, and called out over the rain that she looked like she could use some help. His name was Marcus. He ran a small auto repair shop about 15 minutes down the road, the kind of place that had been in his family for 2 generations, and he'd been driving home from picking up his daughter from her grandmother's when he spotted the flashers. Claire, soaked and humiliated and still shaking from the last half hour, could barely find her voice. She managed to explain that the car had overheated, that her fiancé had left her, that she didn't know what to do. Marcus didn't comment on the fiancé part, not with words anyway, though something flickered across his face, a controlled, quiet kind of anger on her behalf that she would only fully understand later. Instead he popped the hood, shone his flashlight into the engine, and started working, asking her simple questions between diagnoses. Was she hurt? Was she cold? Did she want to sit in his truck where it was dry while he looked things over? She hesitated, the way anyone taught to be cautious with strangers would, but something about him, the calm in his voice, the way he kept his distance, the photo of a little girl clipped to his sun visor when she glanced inside the truck, made her trust him. It took him almost 40 minutes in the pouring rain to get the Mustang running again, a temporary fix, he warned her, enough to get it to his shop where he could do it properly in the morning. He refused to let her drive off alone on a night like this, so he followed her taillights the entire way to a motel near his garage, waited until she was safely checked in, and told her, simply, that his shop opened at 8 and she was welcome anytime. No charge for tonight. He said it like it wasn't a big deal, like this was just what a person did, and that, more than anything else, was what broke something open in Claire's chest. She sat on the edge of that motel bed and cried, not just from exhaustion, but from the strange, disorienting grief of realizing that a stranger had shown her more genuine care in one rainy hour than her fiancé had shown her in the last year of their engagement. Over the following days, as Marcus repaired the Mustang properly, Claire found herself returning to the shop again and again, first for updates on the car, then, if she was honest with herself, for reasons that had less to do with engines. She learned he was a widower, raising his daughter Emma alone since his wife passed 3 years earlier, running the shop his own father built while somehow still showing up to every school recital and soccer game. He never asked her for anything. He never made her feel like a burden or a project. He simply kept being decent, in the unglamorous, unphotographed way that decency usually looks like in real life: steady hands, patient explanations, a spare umbrella, walked out to her car without being asked. Claire ended things with Daniel within the week, not because of Marcus, but because Marcus had shown her, without meaning to, exactly what she deserved and exactly how far short her fiancé had fallen. What grew between her and Marcus after that wasn't rushed or dramatic. It was Sunday dinners with Emma, oil-stained hands, quiet laughter in a garage that smelled like rubber and coffee, the slow, steady rebuilding of a woman's belief that love could be safe again. A year later, she stood in that same garage, not stranded this time, but glowing, marrying a man who had once stopped his truck in a storm for no reason other than that someone needed help. If this story touched your heart even a little, please take a moment to like this video and leave a comment. It truly means the world to this channel and helps these stories reach more people who need them. Before we go, I want to ask you something. If you've ever been shown unexpected kindness by a stranger, comment the word kindness below, so we know you're out there. Thank you for watching Kindness Corner. If you believe good people are still worth telling stories about, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.